Welcome to step 21. In this step, we will figure out our unhealthy strategies to keep our needs met. Now, if we realize that they are indeed unhealthy and that we have been using unhealthy strategies, we can begin to find healthier strategies to replace those unhealthy ones. Now, perhaps when we were young, we were not allowed to voice our needs, or we may not even be allowed to have needs. Now, often adults would say to us, children are to be seen and not heard. So how could we keep our needs met if we couldn't even voice them? It was not possible. So we had to find another way, a roundabout way, and maybe unhealthy ways. Now, a common example of this would be a child who doesn't get enough attention from his parents for whatever reason, and so he plays up in order to get some attention. So he might fail in his school exams, he might get into fights, he might get caught for shoplifting, and so on. Let's take another example. Let's say that your need for significance is unmet. Now, the way you might meet it might be to exaggerate and boast of your achievements and belongings. You may also criticize and play down the achievements of others. So, for example, if your neighbor has a Ferrari, you might say, these cars are so bad for the environment. What an irresponsible person he is. I would never get a car like that. If he makes a lot of money, you might say, but have you seen how hard he works? He doesn't even spend any time with his family. That's a terrible life. I wouldn't want a life like that. So by inflating your achievements and deflating those of others, you may feel more significant than you previously did. But this is not healthy and not sustainable. Now, another example. Let's say your need for connection is unmet. So you might start little fights with your spouse or siblings or whoever in order to get that little bit of attention and interaction. It may not be the best connection, but those few minutes when you are shouting at one another, you do feel some sort of connection with them. Perhaps in the short run, it does quench your thirst for love and affection. But in the long run, you will get tired of the fights and the lack of results they generate. Your relationships will suffer and you will be in a worse position than before. So they're definitely not healthy. The good news is that there is a way out of these unhealthy strategies. In step 23, we will figure out some healthy ones to replace the old ones. So see you in the next video in step 23.